Vacation in Vegas. I love it.
That's right. And
Spend time with your family. You know what?
it was lit.
Football is more important, but I
Well, I
guess you
did
can
sneak
spend
off.
time.
I did sneak off.
Welcome to Gridiron Thunder, hosted by Thor and Dr. Otaku.
Hello, and welcome to Gridiron Thunder. All the news you need to know, the recaps of the previous week, and the week to come previews. My name is Thor. This is Kevin, aka Dr. Otaku.
Gridiron Thunder on ice. I mean, on camera now. Fancy.
On ice? What does that
On
mean?
ice. This is the special edition. We're doing it live.
I wish I was iced up. I wish I had money to get iced up. Have you seen Jamar Chase's grill? My God.
But I've seen a lot of these NFL players, and yeah, they're iced out. I understand. I get
Yes.
it.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
jealous
insane.
at all.
It's insane. All right, we get to talk football. Football's back.
Football is back.
Officially back. Have you been through the rundown that I put together
I don't think you
at
sent
all?
it
Have
to
you
me,
checked it out?
but I can pull it up. But no, I mean, I remember our agreement last episode, the games we needed to watch. I ended up watching a
Yes.
lot more games than I expected because I was at the Palazzo this weekend with my wife, and I did
You
sneak
were
away to
going
this.
on a little staycation in Vegas. I love it.
That's right, and
Spend time with your family. You know what?
it was lit.
Football is more important, but I
Well, I
guess
did
you can
sneak
spend
off.
time.
I did sneak off to watch the sportsbook a few times, and I watched a ton of games.
They have a great sports book. They do.
No, it was awesome. It was really lit. I even
Mm.
played some poker. It was fun. I did all right until it all went crashing down, but that's life.
That's gambling. You were
Yeah.
doing great until you lost money.
Yeah. Same thing with our parlays. Unfortunately,
No!
the world
Dolphins.
famous Gridiron Thunder Super Parlay
Gridiron Thunder Super Fast.
I
Super
swear to
Parlay.
God, it was literally 2 games off. You got everything else right, Thor.
Yeah,
Be proud of yourself. You did really good,
I
actually. You
kinda
called some
nailed
hard
it.
games. You called some hard games, man. And we were so
Yeah.
close to taking home the money.
Yeah, I am pretty proud of myself. The Dolphins collapse did come sooner than I was expecting. I think
Way
sooner
sooner.
than a lot of people were expecting. But just kind of to break down the agenda of what we have for this episode, basically, there is the millennial. There's an older show called Drake and Josh.
Yes, I remember.
You've seen it.
That was a great show. That was great.
Yeah, ignoring anything that those actors have done since, there's a great line in that show where Josh and Drake are arguing, and Josh calls out Drake for lying, and he says, "Are you calling me a liar?" "Well, I ain't calling you a truther." And that's kind of what I want to talk about with week one, because week one is a famous, famous liar. The Saints from last week went 2-0, and they scored 40 points in both of those games, and then they went on to be one of the worst teams in the league and one of the worst offenses. So, week one is a liar sometimes. So what are we going to call a truther? What are we going to call a liar? We're going to talk about the games that mattered, and then we're going to look ahead to the week 2 games, do our picks of the games that we want to watch, and then our survivor picks. Since we're on the survivor picks, it's not going to take very long. We were both sweating. I was Jordan Peele in that Key and Peele gif where he's just sweating bullets because I chose the Bengals. I refused to believe that Joe Flacco could beat Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and that Bengals team, and they beat him by 1 point. And you chose the Denver Broncos, which was the clear number 1 pick for Survivor. They kind of played with your heart a little bit for most of that game, but they did what everybody thought they would do, and they won. So we both survived week 1.
We did. Congratulations.
Hey,
round of applause.
We did it. We did.
But so I mean, you got the better game to watch though, because I think there was 2 separate moments where a player almost caught a ball and then it was picked in the middle of the air, and it happened like almost back to back. It was an insane game. It was like turnover city, fumbles, interceptions, like super exciting stuff.
It was ugly. It was an ugly game.
Ugly games are the best games. It's just it's like watching an ugly fight. Like an ugly fight is like some
Mhm.
of the most entertaining boxing or like MMA you'll see, right? That's what it reminded me of. It
Where
was
the
just like a
the
sloppy.
form's really not there, but they're just
Yeah,
throwing haymakers,
yeah,
you know?
yep, yep. You're like, oh, we're
They
here
don't
for
really
blood.
connect, but it's like, hey, that was kind of almost cool,
Yeah, no, it's a show, man. The Broncos game, like, yeah, there was some drama at first, but really they just kind of took a while to wake up. Once they got going, it's pretty
Yeah.
clear from there.
Bo Nix really kind of struggled at first, and the Tennessee Titans did show more life. I liked what I saw out of Cam Ward. He's the number one overall pick. He has not been getting any news coverage really or news headlines just because they're the Titans. But I liked what I saw. He looked decent. He was delivering the ball. Calvin Ridley is a decent pickup, like some people were thinking in fantasy. This team still has probably a year, 2 years with a legit rebuild where they hit on draft picks and they sign some free agents before they're probably contenders again or in that category. But they were able to kind of surprise the Broncos, who I think they came in expecting to just steamroll them. And that defense kind of hit them in the mouth a little bit. Jeffrey Simmons on that Tennessee defensive line was, a wrecker like he typically is. He did cost him at the end. I don't know if you saw that kind of egregious personal foul that they called on him.
No,
Did you
I
see
missed
that?
it. I missed the end
Yes.
because the kids wanted to go to the pool, but I watched most of it.
Dang kids.
I
Did you
know,
tell
yeah.
them football's more important? You just grab them and you point them at the screen and you say, look, that's Jeffrey Simmons from the Tennessee Titans. This is important. Uh, and so basically it was like towards the end of the game, Titans needed to stop and the Broncos threw out essentially a screen pass behind the line, immediately tackled behind the line. It's going to be a loss of yards. And as they're getting pushed back, they call it for forward momentum. So the play's dead. And as they're calling it, Jeffrey Simmons is barreling in with his momentum and just gives one extra just shove. Again, like 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage to this guy who's already being tackled to just like shove him to the ground. And the refs immediately just flag. And Jeffrey Simmons, he just looks around. He's like, what? What did I do? The classic.
I don't know. It wasn't as bad as
But
what happened during that Eagles Cowboys game. If you want to talk about that a little bit, roll back the
all
tape a
right.
second.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about the big games. We kind of just started talking about survivor picks, but let's look at week 1. Let's look at that and then we'll look forward to week 2. So yeah, but we can start with
Do we know what
Dallas
the
Philly.
story is? Do we know what the story is with that
I do.
spit on Dak Prescott? What happened
Spitgate?
there? Yeah, what
Spitgate.
happened? I purposely
Spit.
didn't look up anything because I wanted to hear from you. What's the
All
real
right,
story?
fantastic. So, what do you know? What is the story that you know?
All I know is what I saw during the game. I watched that whole game basically, and yeah, it was just to me as as your average viewer who's not following the Twitters or the social medias on these guys.
Who
It just looked
twitters?
like a hate crime. It looked like a hate crime. I was like, "What is this? Like, why did he do this 6 seconds into the game? Like, what happened? Like, did Dak sleep with his wife? Like, what happened?"
Wild. You're calling it a hate crime. So yes, watching it live, the first play. The kickoff happens. There's an Eagles player down, injured, who has to get carted off. Crazy. During that stoppage, the offense and defense are getting ready. Jalen Carter walks towards the Cowboys' offensive huddle. As you're watching it live, you don't really see this, but you see the flag symbol come up, and it's like, oh, that's weird. There's like nothing really happening. And then the ref gets on the mic and says, Jalen Carter has been ejected for the game. What?
Yeah,
Like the
no, it was
best
like,
defensive player that the Eagles have. They start showing the replays as he's walking up to the Cowboys offensive huddle. You see him, huck to. And it's like, what? Why would he do this? He's an idiot. He's a moron. He's had character issues, which is why he fell in the draft. He was easily the number 1 defensive prospect in his draft. He fell to the Eagles because of character issues from college. Everybody's like, okay, Jalen Carter's an idiot. We've seen this before. About halfway through the game, they get a zoom up of the Dallas Cowboys huddle. There was a second spitter.
what?
That was a second spitter.
Second
So
shooter.
Jalen Carter, still an ignoramus move to walk up trying to just trash talk and get into the offense's head, which you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't go past. You shouldn't be within 5 yards of the offensive huddle as you're getting ready on defense. But he's talking trash, and you can see that Dak Prescott is talking trash to him back. And Dak's behind the offensive lineman. So he's kind of like poking his head out, talking to Jalen Carter as he's walking up. Dak Prescott spits past his offensive lineman, but on the ground in front of Jalen Carter. And you can kind of see what they're saying. And Jalen Carter's like, oh, did you spit at me? And Dak's like, why would I spit at you? And he just has this giant grin. Like, why would I spit at, why would I spit at you? And that's when Jalen Carter spits onto Dak Prescott.
Wow.
And what a game.
It was not what a game.
Yeah, so that's
No.
Spitgate in that show.
So my
Jalen
conspiracy.
Carter, just real quick, Jalen Carter was suspended for 1 game. However, they are counting week 1 as that 1 game that he was suspended.
Good.
Does he still get paid? Because he was about to show up? Question mark? I don't know. Because, I mean, that's kind of, I don't know. Yeah.
I think my conspiracy is that he did all that just to prove what a mistake the Cowboys made by trading Micah Parsons. Because he said, you know what? Micah Parsons isn't here. Y'all about to lose. I don't even have to show up tonight. I don't even have to show up tonight. I don't have to show up. I'm going to get a free day. And that's basically what happened. I mean, the quarterback of the Eagles, Mr. Hurts, Super Bowl champion, Mr. Hurts, Super Bowl champion. That's Dr. Hurts to you. He had more rushing yards
than... He's a doctor.
He had, I mean, he's just so calm and cool and collected. I mean, I don't know, man. He's like a surgeon out there.
He's very,
like a surgeon.
Cool. He's
like a surgeon.
I like
if you put him in scrubs or whatever, you'd be like, yeah, I can see it. It makes sense.
Dr. Hurts.
Dr. Hurts.
I like that because it's like he's a doctor who helps you to stop hurting, but his name is Hurts. Exactly. I like that.
That's and good. He got more rushing yards that game as a quarterback than Saquon Barkley, the Madden cover running back. So I mean, it really shows you how basically it's why I decided to not support the Cowboys this year. They made a horrible mistake. Their offense was decent. Dak Prescott looks like he's juicing. I mean, he's spitting at people and stuff. So I mean, it kind of supports my. He looks like if you look at him from his like early years to now, he looks like he looks like a giant potato, dude. Like he's juicing out of his mind because he's trying to stop his injuries from happening. So he's doing the classic thing where he's juicing to kind of like recover, but it's your face gives it away when you do that kind of stuff. So Dak Prescott's definitely juicing. He's lashing out aggressively towards his coworkers.
His coworkers. The Eagles are his coworkers.
Yeah, they work for the same company, dog. They're his coworkers.
They do, technically.
Yeah. They all work for Mickey Mouse. I mean,
could you imagine if you could just get onto a field and literally try to like, take the head off of your coworkers in pads?
Hey, sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah, I mean, some of the games were funny this week, man. The rushing leaders were weird all over. Jalen Hurts was the leading rusher with 62 yards. Saquon still definitely made his presence known because the Eagles' passing offense was decrepit. If you are an A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith fantasy owner, I am an A.J. Brown fantasy owner. I'm a little worried. Not that worried. He'll be okay. He'll be okay, right? He'll be okay.
I think the Eagles were just taking advantage of the gap in their defense. They didn't have anybody to rush the center.
They did.
They just knew the mistake and it was just apparent, and they just took advantage of it. I think the receivers will come back next game. They're not going to be able to get away with it week 2.
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, Saquon, yes, he was making some amazing Madden plays. Like it wasn't crazy yards or anything, but he was he was breaking.
You can see it with the players who are truly special, Bijan, Saquon, Jameer, like they just have that look. When you just watch them, you're like, oh, this guy's special. And Saquon has that twitch to him. But yeah, they absolutely took advantage of the Dallas defense. When we were previewing this game, I did tell you in the world where the Cowboys win this game, it's their offense that carries them. And it's the fact that the Eagles defense is a little bit weaker than last year, and they take advantage of their secondary using CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, which that is how they scored 20 points and kept it within 4. CeeDee Lamb had a great game. George Pickens did okay. Dak Prescott did okay. He kind of did what he needed to do. It's unfortunate because CeeDee Lamb did go over 100 yards, which is great. I expect him to have a big year because this offense, I feel like, is going to be passing a lot. However, what people are going to be talking about when it comes to CeeDee Lamb in this game is he had 3 killer drops,
Yeah, I was about to
including
say
the
that.
final drive. Like, I mean, he was beating himself up. Like, he had it in his hands. And if you're going to be considered top 4 receivers in the NFL, you got to make those catches.
No, and they weren't impossible catches or anything. But again, Dak isn't the best quarterback, so to be fair to Lamb, he's trying to compensate really heavily for Dak. Nah. Now when you're spitting on the field, you're distracted. You're a distraction.
I don't know. Dak got the best defensive player of the Eagles off the field. This is a completely different game if Jalen Carter's on the field. The Cowboys' running
this
game was
behavior. You condone this.
to try and win the game. It worked.
But meanwhile, you're against the Broncos using headhunting tactics to knock out people's kneecaps. It's the same. It's the same concept.
Well, it's a little different. It's quite a bit different. You're talking about the Saints headhunting scandal with Dennis Allen, who's still in the league, by the way.
Oh my god.
And paying somebody to injure a player is way different than Dak Prescott goading Jalen Carter into spitting on him.
Oh my god.
But
do you think he planned that? Do you think he had like a talk, like a practice round?
No. I think Dak needed to spit. A lot of these NFL players, they just spit all the time, especially quarterbacks. They have these like weird habits that they do. And I think he needed to spit, but he was talking to Jalen Carter and he spat in his direction. And then he thought it was funny that he did that. And then Jalen Carter took offense to it and he was like, oh, I can totally play this up.
Oh my God.
Which you'll see it. Like players when they get into scuffles, especially teams that hate each other like Dallas and Philadelphia. Like they try to like throw a sneaky punch to try and get the other person to like throw a haymaker, and then that person gets injected. So
classic.
But just to that point, real quick, this would be a completely different game if Jalen Carter was in there because you saw it immediately. The Cowboys offense was targeting where Jalen Carter would have been with their running game. And their running game was working, which was setting up the pass for their star receivers. And again, I don't trust the Cowboys running offense long term. If I'm going to say what's a liar, I'm not trusting Javonte Williams. I'm just not. If you're getting fantasy trades for Javonte Williams for like, I don't know, Cortland Sutton or something, don't do it. I don't trust the Cowboys running offense. They went against a defensive line that had their by far best player removed from the chessboard. So I'm not calling that a truther. What I am calling a truther is the Eagles just doing exactly what they need to do to win. I don't think they're going to have just absolute beatdowns this year, but I think every game it's going to be like, oh yeah, they won. It looks like they were going to win.
They're the Madden team. They're doing the Madden plays. They're doing the weird little stuff because they're like, oh, we just have to win. We have this much time left. Like, okay, enter this combination on the
okay.
The
who's it going to be? It's going to be Jalen Carter making a play on defense, or I need A.J. Brown right here. Oh, I need a tush push right here. Oh, I need a Saquon Barkley screen pass right here. Yeah,
exactly. They have They have like the fantasy team. They have all the weapons they need to do it. Yeah, I know they're not the same exact team, but I don't know. I would easily see them taking it 12 games this year, just based on that performance.
12. I could see 12 for sure. All right. Eagles, Cowboys. Fun game. Fun way to start it.
It was a great start.
I loved it. As soon as that spit gate happened, I was like, this is going to be a good season. But
We're back.
Moving on. Let's go to the actual game of the week, potentially game of the year. What do you think it is? What do you think it was?
Was it
It's an easy answer.
not the Kansas City versus Chargers? Because that was a fun game. I
It
loved
was
it.
fun. It was fun.
Bills Ravens.
You
I'm
watched
assuming
football and something. It was
I know.
Ravens Bills. Of course,
I
it
know.
was Ravens
I
Bills,
know.
man.
I mean, it was the game that we were calling out to be the game to watch. So yeah, I
But I
know.
was calling it out, saying this should be at the end of the season with both of
Yes.
these teams fighting for the number 1 seeds. Baltimore, I'm sure, is in top 5 of power rankings still. Buffalo's in top 5 of power rankings. Neither of these teams should move where their power rankings are because both teams just played that good and they played exactly how we thought. I will say, when we were talking about the over-unders for week 1 and I saw their over-under at like 48, I was like, I'm crushing that over because their offenses are both studs, and the Ravens defense I do think is a little bit better than the Bills defense, but both these teams are just going to score points. Crushed
I
it.
would say the Bills offense is a little bit better than the Ravens offense by a point.
They
probably.
won. They won. I will say, I don't know. I don't even like saying it. Josh Allen is a little bit better than Lamar Jackson. That's what I would say.
Spicy.
Because I mean, it's just what is there to talk about this game? We've seen this type of game from these teams in the AFC playoffs for the last like 5 years. And you could see it on Lamar Jackson's face. The Ravens were up 40-25 at one point. Right? One of the big stories from this game was there were like 10,000 fans who left at that point. Yeah. And also, Bills fans, what are you doing? You guys are crazy. You tailgate at like 7 a.m. in the morning and you do it in the cold and you light plastic folding tables on fire and you jump off of RVs into those folding tables. Like, that's what you do. That's your thing. And you're going to call it quits? Just stick it out until the end. What are you doing?
Listen,
you have Josh Allen.
The Bills have had a rough time
In the playoffs.
in general. They've had the rough time. This is like their first time really coming back into being like true powerhouses, like, Super Bowl contenders. So they just they're learning to believe again. I don't fault them for it. It's week 1. They were like,
they had the 2000s were rough before they got Josh Allen. But I will say one of my favorite teams when I was like researching history was the 90s Bills. Easily one of the most heartbreaking teams because they went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost them all. Did you know about that Bills team? Yeah, it's crazy. Thurman Thomas is an incredible running back. I mean, it just awesome team all around. But for like the 2020s, it's been Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, just killing each other in the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes has won that battle more often than not. However, looking at the sidelines as the Bills are making this comeback, you could just see it on Lamar Jackson's face, just like, yeah, this is happening. This is going to be one of the greatest games of the season. And, who knows? I'll probably be on the wrong side of it, And Josh Allen threw for nearly 400 yards. Derrick Henry was a monster. He did have a costly fumble, which kind of detracts from his monster game. For the entire week, only, what is this? 1, 2, 3, only 3 rushers went over 100 yards this week. Derrick Henry had 169 yards. I mean, he was stiff arm. He was crushing people. Zay Flowers had 140 yards. Like, the Ravens balled out.
He was stomping up. Well, they balled out early. That's what I would argue, is that they kind of gassed out.
Up until like late third or fourth quarter, they balled out. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
They lost their.
They have a maybe it's just because it was the Bills and it was like a super powerhouse team, but we have to pay attention to the Ravens and see what their stamina problems are going to look like for the rest of the year, because it was a humongous difference like at that mid third quarter period where it's concerning because it's week 1. I know the Bills are this monster team to have to like hold at bay the whole time, but also you were winning and you gassed out.
Yeah.
And you have a 79-year-old quarterback. So, like, I am worried about the Ravens' stamina long term. And I know they only lost by a point, but like
79-year-old quarterback? What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. I keep thinking Joe Flacco's on the Ravens.
You're insane. They have one of the most elite quarterbacks in the game. I will
I'm still
say,
adjusting to this season.
You're still learning. You're still learning. It's the what is it? You haven't watched in 10 years. I was making fun of you for that. It's not
5
10 years.
years. It's been 25 years.
It's 25. Let's make it longer each time. You've never watched football. No, I mean, Lamar Jackson's incredible. Joe Flacco's with the Brown, yada, yada. But the stamina issue is real, and it is something I called out in the preview as well, because it's something that you see in week one always. Nothing can prepare you for NFL speed. All of these teams were getting gassed by the end of third quarter, fourth quarter. You could see it. Everybody was just, and I was really looking for it because, it's like, something that I was really kind of focusing on this year. And I mean, it's clear and present once you're just, actually watching for it. So maybe the Bills were just a little bit more prepared. I mean, what really struck me towards the end of that game was Josh Allen's arm strength. It just would not diminish. I mean, he was just throwing ropes like 40 yards down.
Nonstop.
Perfect passes. And it was the fourth quarter, and it's like, I mean, you just watch these games, and it is the peak of the watching NFL experience where you're watching it, and it's just like, this is incredible. This player's incredible. They're going into the Hall of Fame. The person on the other side's going into the Hall of Fame. Derrick Henry's going into the Hall of Fame. I mean, just fun. It's a great time.
I know it's one of my predictions from our predictions episode, but I do think, especially after seeing that game, the Bills will probably be in the Super Bowl this year. Like,
I can see it. Yeah.
Easily could see, unless something cataclysmic happens.
Yeah.
They're making it this year. This is their year. Bills fans, it's your year. Stop leaving.
Bills fans would agree with me, like, we'll see. But I will say one thing about this game happening now. If the Ravens and the Bills meet in the playoffs, Ravens are going to have a little bit more juice, saying, oh, they beat us when they shouldn't have. So they're going to have a little bit of that edge going into the rematch, which I always like for a playoff rematch of something that happened during the regular season.
I really do like this type of storylines as well. However, again, by the playoff season, the Ravens may just be extremely gassed out compared to I don't know. I just feel like the Bills just have not just a good team, because again, the Eagles have a good team. All these teams have good teams. It's just they have a team that can go all the way through. Like you were saying about Josh Allen's arm and everything. Like,
yeah, they go as far as Josh Allen will carry him. There is that question of Lamar. Will he gas out? Like, does he have that?
Well, what's Lamar's injury history? I meant to ask. Like, what's the injury history comparatively between those two quarterbacks? About the same?
They're very, very similar. They've played very, very similar games. Lamar hasn't missed an extended period of time. Neither has Josh. So there's no issue with that. I think stamina did play an issue in week one. I do not think either team will have a stamina issue for the rest of the season. I will say that.
All right, we'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
What other games mattered in week one? You were mentioning Kansas City.
I want to talk about Kansas City Chargers in Brazil because it was a fun game to watch because it was in Brazil. It was interesting. Just like the color grading was different for that NFL game. It was special to look at. It felt like I was watching some FIFA, honestly, but it was also a really hard game to call. And it was the most impressive one that you called out of the bunch because you said that the Chargers would take it barely, but they would take it. And guess what happened? Exactly that. They barely took it home.
They did. It's a fascinating game from a analytical standpoint because, I was worried about the Chiefs missing Rashee Rice. They need weapons for Patrick Mahomes. And right at the beginning of the game, Xavier Worthy goes out, who was their number one receiver. So immediately the Chiefs are missing their number one receiver and their number two receiver. They still have Juju Smith-Schuster, which that's rough saying that sentence, just getting through it. But they also still have Travis Kelce, who did have a 30-yard touchdown, which was good to see from him. Maybe he still has that juice. However, on the other side, I will not call the Chargers a liar. I won't do it. There have been a lot of off seasons where the Chargers have won the offseason and then the season happens and they're letdowns. And the Chargers have been a very snake-bitten franchise. But right now, looking at that Chargers team, the Chiefs defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, they still have really good defense. They still have Chris Jones. They game planned to stop the run because they knew that Greg Roman offense was going to try to run the ball. They have Najee Harris, who was playing, didn't see much action, but they have their young first-round running back, Omarion Hampton, who I love, and their game plan was to stop that running game, which, again, I think is really talented. So the Chargers' running game's really talented. They are a little bit weak with the running game because of a injury to Rashawn Slater, their star right tackle, but they still have Joe Alt, who's one of the best left tackles in the entire league. So their offensive line, I think, is going to make it until Rashawn Slater comes back. Okay, so their running game, good. They succeeded because they accepted that game plan from the Chiefs to stop the run, and they let Justin Herbert go crush it. Over 300 yards passing. Justin Herbert was scrambling all over the field. Ladd McConkey was making plays, their number one receiver. Quentin Johnston, where did he come from? Everybody thought he was a bust. He ended up having like 20 plus fantasy points. People are trying to make crazy trades like, hey, I'll give you Quentin Johnston for AJ Brown. That'll work out, right? But they're able to hit you with Ladd McConkey. They're able to hit you with Quentin Johnston. They're able to hit you with Omarion Hampton. They're able to put in Najee Harris. So whatever the defense is giving them, they were able to work around it. And I think that's a truth. I'm calling you a truth of the Chargers because I think that's something that will translate throughout the entire season. And as long as nothing catastrophic happens, their offense will be able to play and succeed towards what defenses are giving them. That plus the defense was living up to who they were last year. And again, they were missing some offensive weapons. However, they still have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. So if you're able to stymie that offense, that defense looks good too. And that's why I think the Chargers kind of, again, I'm calling this performance a truth. It did really make me believe like who's going to stop the Chargers. I absolutely think Chargers Bills or Chargers Ravens would be an excellent game. And I might pick the Chargers after week one, even after the week one performance by the Ravens and Bills, like we just talked about.
No, unfortunately, I think what you said last week about, or maybe during our predictions episode, which I think was last week, about the Chargers, or excuse me, about the Chiefs was correct. Going to that many back-to-back Super Bowls and also losing a ton of your weapons coming into this year really just showed its face, and the Chiefs were just having a hard time like adjusting to it. The Chargers were doing a good job reading their defense, but I think if the Chargers read any other defense at the same level that they were able to achieve with the Kansas City Chiefs, they just don't have the raw talent on field to like keep up with the Bills, for example, or the Ravens. The games won't go the exact same way because they have the same equivalent to a Mahomes, but with the fully fledged team that isn't burnt out from that many Super Bowl runs. So the Chargers did really great, but again, it wasn't like a crushing defeat. It wasn't like a tactical victory, like, full South Three Kingdoms level tactician. Like it was gritty. It was rough. There was moments where they could have lost everything. Like they got a couple lucky calls from refs here and there. Like they barely squeezed it through, and it's mainly because the Chiefs just aren't who they used to be. So we'll see.
It was
I'm
a
calling
6-point game. I will say you don't beat the Chiefs. No team beats down the Chiefs besides the Eagles in the Super Bowl. But the Chiefs, this is what they do. They grind you down. And even with the diminished weapons on offense, like you have to still play a perfect game. Like the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. They're still back-to-back Super Bowl participants. And I will say one nugget. You know what a nugget is?
like a piece of information, a fact.
Yeah, it's like a little small fact that in football terms, everybody likes to throw out nuggets. So one nugget I saw was that the Chiefs before this game were 17-0 in one-score games. That's impossible to keep up. It's unheard of, and it's impossible to keep up. So eventually you're going to start getting these. And, I will absolutely take credit for, saying that the Chiefs are going to have a little bit of a letdown year and finally feel that Super Bowl slump. I'll absolutely take credit for that. We'll see, though, because week one is a liar. However, I'm calling this one a truther. All right.
Okay.
Week one, what other games mattered? Before we just hop into ones that I thought were very interesting, I'll pass it to you. Was there one game that stuck out to you from the main Sunday slate that you wanted to talk about?
Well, I don't want to talk about it, but I have to talk about it.
Yeah.
I know we touched on it a little bit at the start, but I can't get over it. The Dolphins' performance was just
This is
so
great.
heartbreaking.
As
It was
a
so
Dolphins
heartbreaking.
fan, it's heartbreaking. But, I mean, it was fun. It was fun to watch.
Who gets crushed by the Colts like that, bro? Like, if it
Colt,
was any other team, I would have accepted it. I would have accepted
I
it as, like, you know what? It is what it is. But this was the only team that the Dolphins had a chance of actually showing up for and, like, doing a little bit of damage. You know what I mean?
the mid
They
off.
did.
Everybody thought it was going to be a mid off, and no, the Colts are mid. The Dolphins aren't even close to mid. At least not the way they looked in week one. Daniel Jones is good? What? I saw this great meme where it was like, his nickname is Danny Dimes. Daniel Jones, the Colts quarterback. Danny Dimes. It's a good one. Danny Dimes died in New York. He's Indiana Jones now. I love that.
Football memes are so
Jonathan
cheesy.
Taylor, I love it. Jonathan Taylor played well. Michael Pittman started to have a revival. Like, he was a ghost last year. All of a sudden, he's showing up. They started that game off feeding the ball to Tyler Warren, their first-round pick, tight end, who people hope he turns into the next Brock Bowers. He's at least 1 week in. He's in that conversation. He's on pace with what Brock Bowers did last year. I don't think that's going to continue. Brock Bowers is absolutely special. But yeah, I mean, the Dolphins, I mean, the collapse is happening much sooner than expected. I mean, Tua turned the ball over, as people like to call him on NFL subreddits. And then I just think Mike McDaniel, I think he knows that he's on his way out, their head coach. There was this quote that he had from the off season, and people have brought it back up after this performance because he walked up in front of a press conference and everybody was like, hey, like, it's a good day. And he said, no, it's a great day. And then a reporter said, oh, why is it a great day? And he said, because we're one day closer to death. And people are like, oh, that's just dark humor. But I think looking at it now, the Dolphins are, one day closer to death, as
It's just
Mike McDaniel would say.
that's just Buddhism. That's all he meant by that. Oh my god, what a quote though. That's amazing.
It's good.
So I have a confession to make. I did kind of miss this game, even though I really wanted to watch it. But it was just a lot of football. I had to.
That's fine.
I'm getting back into
You can
trying to
miss
figure
this
out how to watch it all. But the game I missed was the Vikings Bears. I watched a bit of it, but I really wanted to see Caleb Williams because I'm really rooting for him as a quarterback
Yeah,
this
we
year.
don't have to spend too much time
I
on
want his
the
career to do
Dolphins
well.
Colts. We should probably just talk about the Vikings Bears because it is one of the bigger games. I love Caleb Williams. I love his talent, I should say.
Yeah.
And watching the game, just to kind of fill you in, it was a tale of two halves. The Bears came out looking really good. They marched down the field. Caleb Williams, he just has this ability that is, you don't see it, where he's able to just sense pressure, make people miss who have clear shots on him, and then he's just running full speed, and he throws like a 40-yard dot to somebody running out of bounds, like making an excellent catch. And by the second half, the Vikings had adjusted. Caleb Williams is just overthrowing everybody, and he's too jittery in the pocket. And the Vikings come back, even though their young QB, JJ McCarthy, from the same draft class as Caleb Williams, threw a pick six even, and he was struggling in the first half. But again, once that second half hit, he ends up throwing 2 touchdowns. He rushes for another touchdown. The Bears didn't have an answer. They just were blasé after that first kind of planned half of the game. So it's frustrating with Caleb Williams. It really is, because you see it on every play. He just has that. He has the scramble ability. He has the arm. I mean, the arm talent's absurd. If we're talking Josh Allen, I mean, Caleb Williams could probably throw the ball further than Josh Allen. It's just he doesn't have the accuracy yet. And you keep looking at those throws, and there were wide open people. Like, you saw the play and you're like, oh, this is it. But then the ball's 10 yards overthrown. And it's like, just dial it in. But then he never did. And that's the frustrating part. And the Vikings, I think, are going to be good. JJ McCarthy looks really good. He's settled in. They were down by a few scores, and he had just thrown that pick six. But apparently in the huddle, as they're looking at it, like, they know they need to come back. Apparently JJ McCarthy went into the huddle, and he just looks at everybody in the huddle with a smile saying, there's nowhere I'd rather be right now. You know, like, this, I live for this. Like, I think he
We're
has
one day
that
closer to
gene in
death.
him. We're one day closer to death. So I think he has that attitude in him that, you know, like Joe Burrow has, where it's just, he's just so excited to play football, and he knows, like, oh, I need to make a play right now. And he's just so excited that he has that opportunity, which is great to see, you know, and you can see that energy and the team feels that, etc. So it
Yeah,
was
I
a
mean,
fun
but I
game.
think it was a fun game. I was able to watch highlights and stuff. I wanted to watch it live. I was excited to see. I thought Caleb Williams was gonna like bust out like and just prove everybody wrong. I feel like he half proved people wrong.
Yeah, there's one of my favorite analysts, Kurt Warner. He was breaking down the passing play by Caleb Williams, and overall, he did say there was more positives than negatives from that game.
Yeah,
And
I
I
think so
would kind
too.
of agree with that, but it's just frustrating when you can just see the potential, which I know all Bears fans will agree with.
Yeah, but I mean, again, the Bears had a horrible institution, as you filled me in on last year. So like,
They did.
I feel like Caleb Williams is just suffering from like lost time.
He's kind of a rookie. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so like I'm keeping my expectations to try to be fair with him. Try not to play too much of favorites though, because I am just kind of choosing him as my career to watch this year.
Mhm.
But I think he'll have a better game. I think the institution needs to adjust him a bit better. They need to stop being so drill focused. Every play they ran was very drilled. It was very rehearsed,
Well,
which unfortunately
what
makes you very
succeeded.
readable.
That's what
Right.
succeeded, was
At first,
basically
but it makes you readable.
every team has 12 plays that are planned. The first 12 plays or first 10 plays, whatever. Every team has that when they start the game. The coach is like, this is what we drill, this is how we're going to start, and then they adjust from there. What Ben Johnson, who was the former Lions offensive coordinator, and he was the top head coaching hire this past offseason, the plays that they had drilled and that Ben Johnson had planned, that was their first drive where they looked really good. And it's like, oh, this is it. This is the Bears offense we were talking about. This is working. And then once they had to start adjusting, that's kind of where you saw the breakdown. So
But that's what I mean. That's
yeah,
what makes me point to the
we'll see how they
institution
do
of that
next
team
week with the
because
plan.
the institution needs to have that type of thing dialed in
We
a
could
little bit
go
better.
we could go on about the Bears institution for a while, especially when it comes to passers. The
Well,
only
let's
franchise who's never had a 4,000-yard passer.
let's move on to Lions Packers because I know that's the game that you chose to watch this weekend, right?
Good one. It's a good one. I also called the Packers.
You did? No, you literally only got two wrong. One
I
was
know.
Dolphins, and I
I
think the other
forgot.
one was
I
the
think of the
Bears.
Patriots. No, I think it was
No, I think it was the
Patriots
Bears.
Raiders. No, I chose the
Maybe.
Vikings. I chose the Vikings over the Bears for
No,
sure.
you're right. It was the Raiders game. You're right.
Yeah. Lions, Packers. Yeah. We were worried about Ben Johnson, like we're talking about, not being their offensive coordinator anymore. We were worried about Aaron Glenn being the head coach in New York and not being the Lions defensive coordinator anymore. The Lions came out flat. They really did. They really couldn't get anything going. Where was Amon-Ra St. Brown? Where was Jahmyr Gibbs? Jared Goff looked like Jared Goof sometimes. You know, he had a couple Jared go off moments, but more Jared Goof. I mean, Sam Laporta was their top receiver. It, it was kind of a down week for offense in general, besides the Bills-Ravens game. Like I said, there was only 3 rushers over 100 yards. And the same kind of goes for pass catchers as well. There was only 4 receivers. 3 if you're not including the Bills-Ravens game. So the Green Bay Packers defense just choked them out. They just choked the life out of him. And yes, Micah Parsons did play. And there is a highlight. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Micah Parsons' first sack where he busts through the line. Jared Goff is rolling out to his right. And Micah Parsons is just like a shark in the water who smells blood. And the play took like 5 seconds, so you could just see Micah Parsons chasing down Jared Goff, who does not know he's behind them. Tackles him, and that was kind of the story of the game, honestly. Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs, their offense did exactly what they needed to do. The Detroit Lions defense is a cause for concern. I do not think the Lions will win the NFC North this year. I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I think, honestly, it might be the Lions in third place. If I were to do standings right now, which again, not the actual standings, but the standings at the end of the year, I'd probably put Green Bay number 1, the Vikings number 2, because right now I think the Vikings may have a better year, and then Lions number 3 in the NFC North. Are you kidding me? Lions will come after me for that, for sure.
No, I mean, I will say I did call that happening last week, that the Lions were going to get sorely, or that was going to be disappointing for everybody who was excited based on last year's performance.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different NFC North right now.
You can't repeat 15 win seasons. It's just not normal. So they were expected to regress at least a little bit, but I don't know if they're winning 11 games. We'll see. I mean, like I said, week 1 is a liar. But I haven't said that too many things are a liar. But yeah, maybe I'm buying into too much hype overall. Maybe I am. Maybe I have to take a step back. You have to look at what I'm thinking. My own personal biases. I think we all need to do that in life. No, I think they kind of gave me the same vibes as the Chargers, where, if they're able to get Jaden Reed cooking, if they do end up getting Matthew Golden involved, who's their number 1, their first round wide receiver, Josh Jacobs did exactly what he needed to do for the game. I think like they're going to be an NFC powerhouse, because who's going to stop them? It's going to be the Eagles and Vikings, and I mean, I'll say the Rams, obviously, but yeah, I think the Packers are going to be right there in the NFC Championship conversation. I'll say it.
No, I mean, they looked really good. Don't really have anything else to add to that. It's pretty apparent. Unfortunately, I was kind of hoping it was going to be more like how the Ravens Bills game turned out, with just like huge numbers and big plays, but it was no, I mean, I will say that everybody was calling me. Like, I was getting phone calls when Micah Parsons was making that sack and everything. Like, every Cowboys friend, fan, family member.
Poor Cowboys fans.
We're never going to live this down. I'm not going to watch any Cowboys games this year unless it's like against a team I want to watch, like the Raiders or something. Like, it was.
Yeah. All right. I think there's 2 more games that are worth talking about, which is the Jets versus Steelers. This was the revenge game from Aaron Rodgers, and they balled out. Pittsburgh barely beat the New York Jets 34-32. Aaron Rodgers throws 4 touchdowns for a quarterback in his 40s. But on the flip side of it, the Jets look good.
That's the Jets. How impressed are we?
The Jets are good. Aaron Glenn, you got to believe that there's an adult in the room in that head coaching position now. Breece Hall goes over 100 yards. Justin Fields looks like one of the most competent quarterbacks in the NFL. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. He has that rushing ability as well. Garrett Wilson nearly goes for 100 yards, but the Steelers did pull it out. I mean, Aaron Rodgers looks like the MVP Aaron Rodgers from when he was 39. And they did exactly what they needed to do. DK Metcalf, Jalen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell. I'm sorry to all the Caleb Johnson fantasy owners out there. It doesn't look like he's going to be getting that many touches anytime soon. But yeah, it was a very, very exciting game. High scoring game. The second highest scoring game of the week.
Dang. Yeah, no, I guess Aaron Rodgers is on that Joe Rogan keto diet or whatever the hell they're always talking about. Because I don't know what I think he's doing, like that stem cell replacement ayahuasca eye drops or something. Because I don't know how he's playing so good right now. It doesn't make any sense. Well, if you listen to him talk, it's just like all those words get jumbled up into like one sentence, and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. But yeah, you throw good, man. You're doing good. You're doing a good
He's
job.
always doing something. Yeah, I'm doing ayahuasca in the dark for 3 days. I don't see any light. Whatever, man. Okay.
Just throw the ball.
Yeah.
No, but
I have a
hey,
new
he showed up. But hey,
Netflix documentary. It's like, okay, we don't care. I paid a lot of money for it, but okay, sure.
yeah, no, he showed up, so I can't. We'll save. I'll save
He
it.
threw 4 touchdowns. Rodgers is still good at football when he's hitting his peak. I will say he did have a reason to have a chip on his shoulder, so I'm interested to see how he performs against a team that's just nothing to him. The Jets in the offseason told him to, pack his bags and say you're not right for this team, which is why it was a revenge game for Rodgers going back to New York. And in a post-game conference, he said it felt good to beat anybody associated with the Jets this week. And that's all they were able to kind of get out of him. But you could see the smirk on his face. He felt good about winning this one.
Evil. Aaron Rodgers is evil. I'll never forgive him for the things he's done to the Cowboys. But good. But at the end of the day, I'm glad he had a good week.
Oh, okay. As a Cowboys fan, I thought you were just straight up calling this dude evil.
Well, no, I mean, as a Cowboys fan, he's evil.
As a fan, he's evil.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. What was the other? I'm sorry. You said a second game, but I'm already losing
It was
it.
the second game. I think the other game that is worth talking about right now is just the NFC West battle. It's important for NFC seeding. Actually, there's another one. I lied. So San Francisco at Seattle.
But yeah,
An
another
ugly
hard.
game.
No, but that was actually another really great call on your end. Just to give you some credit here, some kudos.
I mean, it was fine.
You did get it right, and it was ugly. But I don't
It
know.
was ugly.
You just knew somehow.
It was ugly. I mean, neither team scored over 20 points. George Kittle goes down in this game for San Francisco. Trent Williams leaves this game, who's their great left tackle. He gave up more pressures in this game than he has in the past 8 years, which is a big issue for San Francisco. The 49 IRs, as some people call them, because they seem to get hurt every single year. So
Comes
George
up with
Kittle,
these names.
geniuses. The greatest minds of our time. And so George Kittle is actually officially on IR. He's missing a minimum of 4 weeks. Yeah, Jawan Jennings is banged up. Trent Williams left the game. The most devastating news is that Brock Purdy is dealing with a shoulder issue and a toe issue. And they are preparing for him to maybe miss multiple weeks as well, which the quarterback's the most important position. They have Mac Jones as their backup. Not great. The good news is Christian McCaffrey still looks like Christian McCaffrey. He showed up on the injury report before the game, dealing with a calf issue. Everybody was freaking out. And then they ended up giving him the ball 31 times. He didn't pass 100 yards rushing, but he still had like nearly 100 yards receiving as well, plus 69 yards rushing. So, I mean, he was touching the ball constantly. He was part of their big part of their offense. Same with Ricky Pearsall. All of the hype is true about him. I have him as my like third flex in a league. I got him in like the 11th round. Love that. On the flip side of it,
that means, but good for you.
somebody out there will know what it means. The Seahawks, on the flip side of it, Sam Darnold's the solid defense for San Francisco is really flustering them. They really didn't have an answer besides Jackson Smith and Jigba, who's the number 1 receiver for Seattle. He is like the only receiver who got a ball for the Seahawks. He had 124 yards, and the next Seahawks receiver had like 10. Like nobody else caught the ball besides Jackson Smith and Jigba. They also couldn't get the running game going. Kenneth Walker seems like the backup now? Question mark. To Zach Charbonnet, which I don't really trust either of them at this point because the Seahawks offensive line doesn't show much promise. Stop me if you've heard me before on that one. They've been trying to buy an offensive line since Russell Wilson. So it's a lot of the same issues. Again, you don't want a 13-point performance. However, division games are weird. If I were to pick out some liars from week 1, I will say this is probably a very, very good candidate for a liar, not a truther, just because it's just weird. It was a weird game. It was a weird game overall. Division games are weird, but it's still important. You don't want to in week 1.
Yep. I'm just happy that your predictions are pretty spot on, and I can't wait to get to our next Super Parlay. But
Don't worry. Don't worry. This week will be different. Okay, all right. Final game. I'll run through a few of these because we do need to get to week 2 previews and all of that. Tampa Bay at Atlanta, kind of the similar story for San Francisco and Seattle. This is
Oh,
an
that was a really
NFC
good game.
battle. It is a really good game. Michael Penix Jr. looks like the dude. Bijan Robinson did not have that many yards rushing. However, he did have 100 yards receiving as their running back. I just want to say it again. Michael Penix Jr., when the game mattered, he was putting the team on their back. And I can't believe that the Bucs pulled it out. Emeka Egbuka, who I said multiple times was my favorite receiver from the first round this year. He had 2 touchdowns. He looks like a stud, especially until Chris Godwin gets back, which we don't even know what it'll look like when he does get back. Baker Mayfield's still good at football. Mike Evans still good at football. Their running game didn't really get going. Bucky Irving didn't really get going. But always a fun game between Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Atlanta swept the Bucs last year. They won both games, so I'm sure it feels good for Tampa Bay to win this week. Cardinals barely eked it out against the Saints. Saints actually look okay. The Giants look bad.
No.
Giants look bad.
The Cards did great. They fucking crushed it.
Rams had an ugly win. The Rams defense looks good. Nate Landman from their defensive side of the ball won NFC Defensive Player of the Year. He saved the game by doing he wasn't even trying to tackle a guy. He just squared up and to their ball carrier, and he just punched the ball out to win the game for the Rams. Yeah, I think that recaps week 1.
Yeah, those are all the worthy ones. We did end up talking about almost every game.
I touched.
But yes, I agree. Those are the highlights. Let's move on to week 2 regular season. Not so regular.
Right. The not so regular week 2. All right. Primetime games. Let's start with the Thursday night game. This is one of the best Thursday night games of the year. Thursday night games are typically horrible. I don't know how it happens, but they always end up getting like the worst, most boring games. But this one's a good one. It's Washington Commanders at Green Bay Packers. The Commanders were in the NFC Championship last year with Jane Daniels.
Well,
The Green Bay Packers.
Why is this going to be the top game?
Thursday Night Football? Absolutely. Real quick, it's in Green Bay. Green Bay is favored by 3.5 points. The over-under is 48.5. So they're not favoring them by too much. When it's in that 3-point range, it's kind of a coin flip. But Jaden Daniels, they crushed the Giants last week, which the Giants don't look good. Jaden Daniels is a young stud quarterback. They have Terry McLaurin. Their running backs, they have Bill as one of their running backs, who was actually one of the top rushers last week. Plus, on the Green Bay side of the ball, everything we talked about, I think it will carry over. I expect Jordan Love to do good. I expect actually Matthew Golden to get a little bit more involved in this game. Micah Parsons will know the playbook a little bit better. It'll be fun.
So, sorry, who do you think is going to pull this one off?
Or are you already making picks?
I'm just looking at odds right now. I just pulled up the odds on my betting app.
3.5. I would pick the Packers. I think they are right now in the NFC just a tier above. I think the Commanders are good, but I think the Packers are just a tier above.
Yep. That's what the casinos are saying. Can we just talk for a moment, actually? Sorry, before we get too deep into week 2.
Absolutely.
During last Friday's game, YouTube was streaming it for free all over YouTube, right?
That was great, man. That was so excellent.
Yeah, no, it was great. And then they had officially promoted by YouTube all these live streamers live streaming the game. So you could watch live streamer. Yeah, no, I clicked on one by accident because I thought it was the game, but I clicked on that Kai Sentai guy. He's really big, I guess. I don't know him well, but I know he's like up there.
He's very big. Kai Sinet, I think.
Something like that. But anyway, I clicked on this, and he was like eating chicken wings, talking at the game.
He's
over
crazy.
talking.
He does a bunch of stunts and everything. I mean, he's just one of those major influencers who has millions upon millions of followers, which I remember I stumbled upon one where it was like a 4th of July stream and he his entire stream room in his basement of his house was just filled with like thousands of fireworks. And he got into an argument with the guy on stream, and the guy was like pretending to light a firework off. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And he ended up burning a house down, but it was all
Whoa.
for views and all that shit. So I don't know. A lot of people were giving a lot of backlash on YouTube. Like, it's great you're showing this for free. Don't don't show me Mr. Beast like saying we're gonna launch somebody out of a canyon and check out Feast, but nobody wants that in a football game. So they were getting a lot of pushback on like the YouTube-ness of it, which I guess is the cost of streaming it to YouTube. So I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's one piece of it, but I mean, I don't know. I just thought it was weird that the NFL was like giving rights to live streamers to do it, and then they're like commentating over the commentators. Like, it's not like they gave them their own commentator booth. Like, no, I was hearing the commentators trying to talk, and then this guy's like eating chicken on top of the. It was just a weird experience, and I was like, and then
Yeah,
and
I
then I
mean,
finally found the actual game,
they
and I switched
were,
over, but I was
yeah,
like, what is this? This is so what universe am I in right now?
it was weird. I mean, maybe it's because I'm a millennial and I'm not Gen Z. I don't get it, I just don't get it. But yeah, I don't care for that. I would rather just watch the
Listen,
game.
I live stream on my own channel, and I do get it sort of, but it's just that exact scenario didn't make much sense to me. Like an
I
NFL
think,
game.
yeah, the NFL was also making a big push for their channel about their subscriber count, which I picked up on multiple times. And it's like, oh, are they just really trying to like get a lot of subscribers? Which I guarantee they did.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't care for that streamer stuff. I will put my flag in the ground. I also don't like the Manning cast on Monday Night Football. Do you know what that is?
No, what is that?
So essentially, the Manning cast is a separate broadcast of Monday Night Football where it's Eli Manning and Peyton Manning essentially having a podcast watching the game. And they have guests on. It's like, oh, hey, we have Bill Belichick for the first quarter, or we have, Dwayne The Rock Johnson for the second quarter.
You just don't like
I,
Eli
I,
Manning
I like Eli Manning. He's
or
fine.
Payne Manning. I mean,
I like Peyton Manning. He's fine. It's just I just don't like hearing them talk about the game during the game. There are some moments I care for, which again, I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but I'm sticking my flag in the grounds. I don't care for it. I would just rather listen to the commentators. I just think that's a better viewing experience. After the fact, I think it's funny for Peyton Manning to watch like Kyler Murray scrambling and he's like, don't throw it. Don't throw it. I know where you're, don't throw it. And then Kyler just throws like a terrible interception. He's like, no, that's funny. That is funny, but that is not like, that's only like 1% of the entire broadcast. So
I hear you. I hear you. I mean, listen, I blast music when I watch football, so I don't hear anybody. I love it when
crazy.
whatever I'm listening to is like on beat with what's happening on the field, and it becomes like a little
Ooh.
cinematic movie. Like, it's so good. That's my favorite part about watching a game. Oh yeah. Anyway, sorry for that sidetrack. I just wanted to mention it because I feel like that was the first time I've ever seen that before. So I just felt like it was worth mentioning about last week.
Yeah, absolutely. That was weird.
It was
That was
super
weird.
weird. Anyway, we'll see if that ever happens again. But let's move on from Thursday night.
So the next primetime game is the Atlanta Falcons. Michael Penix Jr. Drake London. He had an injury concern exiting the game last week. He is good to go right now. He is expected to play. All you Drake London fantasy owners out there, a few, me included, at the Minnesota Vikings. School! That's their big chant. It's great. It's excellent. I would love to go to a Vikings home game. Out of all the like home game experiences, the Vikings, even though I'm not a Vikings fan, just watching like their home game experience for the fans and everything, it's just seems like a blast.
You want to sit in all that snow, all that cold snow?
It's warm still. It's September. So this is Sunday Night Football at Minnesota at US Bank Stadium, which is gorgeous. A little anecdote for you, Kevin, because I don't think you know this, but they did host the Super Bowl not long ago because it's a brand new stadium. It is gorgeous. However, they didn't think this through because they made one side entirely out of glass. What do you think is the issue with that?
So too much glare?
Nope.
No?
They had crews every single day cleaning up dead birds. It was just I mean, just think how big an NFL stadium is, and it's just a giant wall of reflective glass. These poor birds. So yeah, before the Super Bowl, they were trying to make sure that they didn't, ruin the image of these crews that were just sweeping up dead birds. Anyways,
My God, no, I did not know this. I did not know that. That is hilarious.
it's actually the same line as the Packers Commanders. The Vikings are favored by 3.5. Like I said, once you're in that 3-point range, it's kind of like a coin flip. I'm absolutely picking the Vikings. I think JJ McCarthy showed enough to prove to us. I do think the Falcons defense is a little bit worse than the Bears, actually. So I think they'll be able to succeed a little bit more. Plus the home field advantage. Plus, Justin Jefferson did get going a little bit. And plus, that Vikings defense, I do think, is going to suffocate the Falcons a little bit more than the Buccaneers were able to do. I do like Bijan Robinson. I like Michael Penix a lot. If I were to pick between the two quarterbacks, because again, they're from the same draft class. Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, JJ McCarthy, Drake May. I think that draft class may end up being one of the better I'll say that 2004. I'll say that. But if I were to pick between Michael Penix Jr. and JJ McCarthy, right now, I would go with Michael Penix Jr. He just looks better. He is older by 3 years, and he played a lot more college. But I'll give that to him. If I were to pick a running game, I would go with Bijan Robinson, obviously. If I were to go with wide receivers, it gets a little touchy because obviously you're going to pick Justin Jefferson over Drake London. The depth on the Falcons side might just be a little bit better, though, because on the Vikings side, you have to rely on Adam Thielen, who does have a little bit of juice. But both receiver rooms are dealing with injuries right now, so... But then you look at the other side of the ball, and the Vikings defense wins by a lot. So, yeah, I think the Vikings, I would even take them to cover the spread. So,
Damn. Well, they are minus 200, meaning that they're most likely going to pull it through. But again, I see that odds get beaten all the time by a good offense. I want to say the Falcons can pull it off. I'm rooting for them slightly, but then it's a home game for the
I don't really
Vikings,
see
so
how.
I think it's
Like,
going to.
maybe Bijan has multiple, 80-yard runs. Drake London has those big plays where they somehow there's a broken coverage in the back in the secondary for the Vikings, something like that. Or maybe JJ McCarthy does show his first half against the Bears where he does struggle, he does overthrow, or he throws in a couple of pick sixes. It's hard to overcome pick sixes in a game. Maybe that's how the Falcons win. But again, I just don't think the Falcons are going to be able to pull it off against the Vikings defense, especially.
We'll see. Only time will tell. So that's the game you're watching, huh?
No, it's Sunday Night Football. We're still in the primetime previews. Primetime previews. Yeah. So Thursday night, Sunday nights, and then we have a double header on Monday night. They started doing these double headers. I don't like them. I'll say it. I just don't like it. Because there's an early game.
Football?
I like more football on Sundays. Give it to me during Red Zone. They are fun games, though. They are, both of them, which makes it unfortunate because I'm going to miss some of them at least. I work until 5 on Friday. Or on Monday, guys. Come on. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to Houston Texans. The Rams just beat the Texans. It seems like the Texans have a lot of issues, especially with their offensive line. They couldn't get the running game going at all, and they couldn't get the passing game going either. They did not score a touchdown. They just scored field goals against the Rams. They scored 9 points, and you really expect the offense to step up. That Rams-Texans game was very defensive, like I did talk about in the preview last week, because I think both of those defenses are excellent. So I could see this being an ugly game because I absolutely could see the Texans not being able to get anything going on the offensive side. Against this Buccaneers defense, which is good, not great. They still have Vita Vea and stuff like that to shut down the run, and they still don't have Joe Mixon for the Texans. And I could see the Buccaneers, who don't have Chris Godwin, Emeka Egbuka, and Mike Evans going up against that DB duo, plus Baker Mayfield getting harassed by that pass rushing combo of Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. It could be an ugly game. The over-under's at 42, which is pretty low. So I guess Vegas kind of sees it the same way that I am right now. Houston is favored. I think I'm taking the
Yes.
Bucs. I think I'm taking
Yeah,
the
that's
Bucs.
that's what I was gonna say because I wanna hit the brakes here because you were actually really looking forward to the Texans this year based on your predictions that you thought they were gonna really
A lot
show
of
up a
people
lot
were.
more. Yeah. So, but they are still favored for a lot of those same reasons that you brought up during your predictions.
And also the
So
Rams
is
defense.
one bad loss against the Rams, which again, week one is a liar, really enough to just make because I'm pausing here for the gamblers listening to our stream because this is a good call out if true, right? If we can get a plus 120 Buccaneers pick and be accurate with that, that makes the super parlay even juicier.
The Super Parlay. Yeah, it's so for a liar from week one, Nico Collins barely showing up. Nico Collins is still one of the best receivers in the entire NFL. Like, that's a liar from week one. Nico Collins is still going to have over 1,000 yards receiving and, close to 10 touchdowns for the year. I just don't know if it's going to happen against the Bucs. They are at home, and the Bucs defense is, I don't think, is not as good as the Rams defense, which again, the Rams defense may be, really, really good. The Rams defensive line are monsters. The Bucs do not have the same level of Jared Verse, Byron Young, Kobe Turner, Braden Fisk, etc. So I think they'll perform better. I don't think it's going to be a 30-point outing from the Texans. I do think that the Buccaneers will be able to do just enough. They weren't able to get their running game going last week, and I think they'll be able to do that just a touch more with Bucky Irving and Rashad White this week against the Texans.
All right, you hear it, folks. Put it all on Bucks. No, I think it's a
Well,
good pick. It's a
I
good
don't
pick.
know.
It's it's a good pick. It's only plus 120, which is
I
very
mean, it's close.
achievable.
It's
It's very
close.
achievable odds to beat that. And no, in all honesty, I would have gone the same way. I just wanted to really kind of get into your head on that pick because it is going to be like a riskier one for parlays out there, but I think it's worth it. I think
Yeah.
it's when you do a super parlay, you always want 2 or 3 games that are against the odds, but not in a dumb way, like in a way that you could see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, when I was talking a lot about the matchups and everything, but when it comes down to the most important position, I'll take Baker Mayfield over CJ Stroud. I like CJ Stroud a lot, but I'll take Baker Mayfield over him. All right, the final primetime game, the Chargers at the Raiders. The
Excited.
Chargers are favored by 3.5. The over-under is 46.5. This is the 7 p.m. Monday night game. So
I'm excited for
Pacific time.
this because I'll probably be able to watch it because that's around the time that the kids go to bed and I can actually maybe
Yeah.
put on a game and everything. So like, I'll probably have to watch the highlights of the Bucks just because that's just a weird time. I'm also working around that time, and then the kids,
Yeah.
dinner,
Yep.
bed, all that stuff. It's like, yeah, I ain't watching that game, but I'll watch the highlights. So Chargers Raiders. I mean, again, I'm a newly blooded Raiders fan. Go Vegas as a Vegas local, and
As a vegan.
as a vegan, but I don't know. I think the Raiders have a good chance here to actually pull this off. The Chargers, yes, they were able to beat the big bad scary Chiefs, but again, it's not the same big bad scary Chiefs as before, so I'm not as impressed by it. And the Raiders are like a whole new team this year, man.
Yeah. I mean, they're a lot different. They have a
Yeah.
lot of additions. Like I said, Geno Smith looks like a competent quarterback, which
Some
has
of the
been missing.
catches, some of the throws and catches during last game, I know we didn't really touch on it too much.
Yeah.
Because they were remarkable. I mean, I know Geno's not like this Hall of Famer, but I mean, I don't know, dude. If he was like, I don't know,
If he was well.
if he was like younger, I guess maybe people would like be believing in him a little bit more right now
Well,
because
no,
I was pretty.
when he was younger, they called him a bust, and then he was riding the
Yeah,
pine for multiple years.
but what was he when he was younger? He was a Jet, right? He was on the Jets.
Yeah.
My memory served me right. Yes, I mean it's not his fault, guys. Like, come on, we have to
It's the
understand
Jets.
it's the Jets.
The Jets fans agree with us. I was about to apologize to Jets fans, but Jets
No,
fans are like,
they're
yeah,
nodding their
yep.
heads. Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. So no, I mean it was a great game. We actually have a running back now, the gents, as
Well,
I
you
call him
couldn't.
now.
The gentleman. Yeah, they couldn't get Ashton Genty going last week. Also, a frustrating fantasy pickup due to his draft stock. I just don't see them being able to put up enough offensive firepower, and the Raiders defense is nowhere near the tier of the Chiefs defense at all. When I was telling you that the Chargers are going to be flexible, they can beat you with the run, they can beat you with the pass, they can beat you in multiple ways with the pass, they can beat you with multiple ways with the run. I don't see any way that the Raiders defense is going to be able to stop Lad McConkey, Quentin Johnston, Amarian Hampton, Najee Harris, or Justin Herbert. I just don't really see how that's going to happen. Maybe Pete Carroll is able to slow down the game. He's able to get the running game to work and have like long 14 play, drives that take up entire quarters so that there's only like 4 possessions in the game. Maybe that's the way that they're able to beat the Chargers. But if the Raiders start having a couple 3-and-outs, because again, on the flip side, I like Brock Bowers, I like Jacoby Myers, I like Ashton Genty, I like Geno Smith, but the Chargers defense is good. It's a good defense. And I don't think the Raiders offense is a great offense. I think they're going to be an average offense with some like good fantasy number producers like Brock Bowers. And I do think week 1 is Elia. I think Ashton Genty will get going. I still think he may win Rookie of the Year. But on the flip side, I think Omarion Hampton has a good chance to win Rookie of the Year as well as the Chargers running back once he gets into really going. So I'm picking the Chargers, including the cover. I think it could be like 30-12 Chargers.
I've been seeing some memes about the Chargers quarterback that if I can find them, I'll try to like put them up. They're yeah, they're so
Justin
funny.
Herbert, it's great, man. I like Justin Herbert a lot.
No, everybody loves him.
Right.
That's the meme. It's like, oh, your life's so great.
It's and is he the one who's dating Madison Beer?
No, yeah, it's the meme goes something like, oh, you're just this young number 1 quarterback dating so and so with long flowing blonde hair. Like, get a grip, dude.
Playing in Southern California, like, great. You're 6'5".
Yeah. There's the funniest things. People are like, man, is this guy serious? No, I mean, and listen, the odds for Vegas are not going to be great for this game. If you do pick them for parlays, you are probably going to lose your parlay based on this game. When I do my personal parlay, I will be going for Raiders.
We're talking about picking the Raiders or the Chargers?
Picking the Raiders. Picking the Raiders is a risk. Picking the Raiders will probably lose you a parlay.
Absolutely.
However, if Pete Carroll is able to work a little bit of strategic magic, because he does have the Three Kingdoms mindset, regardless of what you think about it, his character or whatever, if he can pull it off, it's going to boost your parlays in a really, really sweet way, but it's a risk.
They're massive underdog. They're not a massive underdog.
No, not massive.
I think the Chargers should be like a 5.5 or a 6.5 favorite, honestly. But they're in a 3.5 right now. I'm looking at ESPN Bet, so
damn.
I really don't see the Raiders winning this. Division games are weird. That's the only thing. Division games are weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Crazier things have happened.
Yeah, it's not possible.
All right, let's move to the Monday. They're the main Sunday slates. We're going to pick 3 games each that we want to watch, and then Survivor picks to close us out. All right. Before we get there, I will say you had first pick in Survivor last week, so I get first pick this week. Anyways,
I did.
3 games, week 2 games that we want to watch from the main Sunday slate.
Normally, I would pick a Cowboys game, but I'm just not going to watch that.
I will say, Kevin, there's one game that you should pick in this main Sunday slate.
Which one is that?
I'm not going to tell you, but if you don't pick it, I shall call you a fool.
You're not. So it's not the Patriots Dolphins.
You can pick that if you want.
Eagles Chiefs, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's Eagles Chiefs. The Super Bowl rematch.
I don't want to watch that. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, of course we're going to watch that. I don't know if either one of us are allowed to pick it because that's a game we both should watch.
Absolutely. And there's only 3 1:00 games this week. So, and the other 2 are They're interesting in their own way. They have a lot of personality.
What's your
Yeah.
top pick for this? What's your first pick for this week?
Well, no. Let's go. Let's talk Eagles, Kansas City. I mean, I do think Kansas City. Talk about the basics real quick. Philadelphia is at Kansas City, 125 on Fox. The line is Philadelphia favored by 1.5. That is a pure coin flip. It's literally just, like pick 'em. So over under is 46.5, which is tied for third highest this week. So they expect them to score points. I Honestly, we'll see about the Eagles defense. I mean, look, they're going to have Jalen Carter. I still don't trust the Kansas City offensive line. When you look at the rematch of the Super Bowl, what has Kansas City done to instill faith that it'll be better? They don't have their top two weapons, which that is how you attack this Eagles defense, is you attack their secondary, which is why the Cowboys were able to have some success, because they had CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens at wide receiver. The Chiefs were going to have Rashee Rice, who's suspended, and we're going to have Xavier Worthy, who's hurt now. So that's a question. And then what? Are you going to get the running game going with Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt against a Jalen Carter defensive line? And I think their entire game plan is going to be stopping the run, because they should make Patrick Mahomes beat them through the air, which Patrick Mahomes can do. I mean, if you're going to pick one quarterback who can do that, he can. That's him. He is that guy. But I just don't think there is enough that happened this offseason to make us believe that the result will be anything less than an Eagles win.
I'm honestly surprised the odds are so tight on this. I feel like the Chiefs are a
Tight.
huge underdog.
The Chiefs are still good. The Chiefs are still good.
But in this matchup, they are the underdog. Like, it's going to be a really tough game for them. The only thing they have going for them is like spite.
Yeah. I mean, that means a lot when you get
No,
the
yeah,
entire
it's
team
an element.
playing with
It's
a
an
chip
element.
on their shoulder. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
still,
I just don't see it, because I could see this being the game. Like I said last week, the Chiefs defense, which is good, their game plan was to stop the run. And I like the Chargers running game with Amari Hampton, Najee Harris, yada, yada. And they did it. They did stop the run. So Saquon Barkley did not go crazy last week. Like
he
they
went
were
pretty
able to.
crazy just because he didn't put up the things that everybody likes in their fantasy league, which is the stat numbers and the yard numbers. He was making Madden-like movements, and that's, as like a fan, if you're an Eagles fan, like that's the type of shit you want to see. You want to see him
But he
taking
didn't.
10 spins before he falls,
But he
jumping and flying around.
didn't
Like,
put the team on his back, and he didn't have like 80-yard runs, and he didn't have like all that stuff. That's what I'm saying. So
he didn't
they were
have
able
to.
to bottle him up, where they were able to get him into like third down and then get him off the field. That's what I'm saying. So I think the Kansas City defense can replicate what the Chargers were doing. Excuse me, what the Cowboys were doing. Yeah, the Chiefs defense is better than the Cowboys defense. Straight up. Much better. Tiers better. But kind of what I was saying about the Chargers, the Eagles will say, okay, we don't have to run. We have AJ Brown. We have Devonta Smith. We even have Dallas Goedert. So I could see a more pass-heavy offense from the Eagles this week. Yeah, I mean, it's clear who I'm picking. I'm picking the Eagles. I think you are too.
Yeah, no, I mean, it goes without saying. I'm a big fan of them right now. I mean, they have everything I like to see in a team. That's why I keep calling them the Madden team, because that's the team I would make in Madden right now, right? It's just like, this makes the most sense to play with.
Yeah.
All right. Games to
All right.
watch. Thor.
You picked the Eagles, Chiefs. Fair. Absolutely fair. Let's see. There's a few division games. The Bills, Jets is very good. Patriots, Dolphins is very good. Detroit, Chicago is very good. There's a lot of division games this week. New York versus Dallas.
Did you just say Patriots Dolphins?
I did. Patriots, Dolphins. Yeah, they're a division game. And then there was one more. Cleveland Browns at Baltimore. I think I really like the division games. They have the most juice for me. I think I want to watch the Bills and the Jets because the Jets looked like a competent team against a good defense, which was the Steelers. I think the Steelers defense is better than the Bills defense. And I want to see how Justin Fields does just to do, some house clearing. The Bills are at New York, 10 a.m. on CBS in MetLife Stadium. The Bills are favored by 6.5.
Ooh,
which
yeah,
is
because they're
tied
about
for
to blow
largest.
them up.
Yeah, largest in the week. Over-unders at 46.5. I like this Jets team. I do. I don't think the defense is going to be able to keep up with the Bills at all. I do think the Bills will win this game pretty handedly, but I think it's going to be one of the more interesting games of the week just because of the storylines. Plus, I think the Bills are going to be exhausted. Having a win like that, having a comeback game like that, especially Sunday night. So technically the Jets have more rest, even though it's not by much. Plus the Jets lost. Like they want to come back. They have Aaron Glenn, who I think is a good head coach. I think it'll be fun. I don't think the Jets are going to win, but I could see it like the Bills making people a little bit nervous,
Making them
kind of
work
like how
for
the
it.
Bills were a little bit nervous against the Titans last week.
Yeah.
And also what I've been saying, the division games are weird. And this is a division game. They
Yeah, but
face
not this one. Not this one.
so
The Bills
not
are going to
this
blow
one.
them up. When you come back, when you make a win like that against one of the best teams in the world, basically, which is the Ravens, and you win by 1 point on a Sunday last second, you do all that. You're on game one, you're high, man. You're high as a kite. You're ready to go. Like you're riding those fumes like a Viking, like, eating a bunch of shrooms before battle or something. Like they're going to be going. They're gonna demolish the Jets. I don't see it being like
Wow. All
anything.
right. All
I
right.
think it's gonna be like
Yeah. I
it's gonna
mean,
be a Dolphins scenario. It's just gonna be ugly. They're
that's
just gonna get
fair.
wrecked.
Yeah. If this game is like 30-0 Bills, we'll meet up again next week, and I'll be like, all right, yeah. Yeah. Was surprised.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. No, we'll see. We're both saying they're gonna lose, but you're saying they're gonna lose with dignity, and I'm saying they're not
Yeah.
gonna lose with dignity. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. We're saying the same thing from the same coin, different side. I guess if I were to like score this game, I would say like Bills 34, Jets 27,
Too
29.
generous. Too generous for the Jets.
I like their offense, man. Brees Hall was looking really good, averaging like 5.5 yards per carry. And again, the Bills defense is worse than the Steelers defense, in my opinion. So,
Oh my gosh. Okay, so actually, that's sort of leading into my next pick, but just something I wanted to mention, which ties into last
sure.
week. My next pick is going to be Cardinals Panthers, and for one reason alone, bro.
How'd you take that one?
The Cardinals were lighting people the fuck up, man.
Their
Like I
defense?
saw, yeah, the hits were
Yeah.
just like
Their
crunchy. I
defense
was
was
like,
fun.
I have not seen hits like that in NFL in a long time. Like it was like old school combat. Like they were getting it all game. I was like, this is entertainment. I love this.
Yeah.
Cardinals, I'm
And
about to start watching you.
yeah, and I think that it showed proof of what a lot of people were saying in the offseason. I was even telling you like their head coach, it was an Eagles defensive coordinator. He was hired as a defensive guy. And this is kind of the defense seems like it's kind of forming right now. And I was telling you about their second round pick, who was graded as a first round pick, Will Johnson at DB. He had a great game, and everybody's like, whoa, this kid's special. And it's like, yes, we all knew he was special, but people were worried about his injury history. He's healthy, looks good. So, like I was saying, if they got him in the second round, that is a steal to get a stud at DB. Their defense looks good. Marvin Harrison Jr. looks good. Kyler Murray looks like Kyler Murray. Did you hear about his situation before the game? So he was put on oh, Kyler, why can't you just have normal stories? So he was put on the injury report literally Sunday morning because he was up at 4 a.m. Dealing with some intestinal issues, if you catch my drift. He was
I don't
not
catch
having
your
a
drift.
he was not having a good time with the porcelain god. He
Oh,
was yeah, it was
did he eat some
diarrhea.
bad sushi? Did he eat some bad sushi?
But he was up all night dealing with that.
Man, I feel for him. As
Yeah,
someone who suffers from intestinal problems sometimes here and there with GERD, but yeah,
yeah,
I
it
feel
wasn't
really
like
bad
A or something, but I don't know.
because it often happens at the worst times, man. And right before a big game, I feel bad for
Imagine
him.
week
But
one.
this is the guy that I was kind
Why?
of making when you were teaching me all the teams during our first episode, when you were just giving me the full rundown and everything. I did make fun of the way this guy like looks like he skipped leg day. He looks like very disheveled and yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's up to.
He's a short king. His helmet does look too big.
Yeah, like he's funky looking.
Yeah, they couldn't get the run game going. The Panthers have a historically bad run defense, and Bryce Young looks like the bust again, which isn't great. I don't know, Panthers. I was thinking about the Panthers, and it's like, when have the Panthers been in actual, like, real NFL conversations past like week 8?
That's
You
fair.
know, and I mean, for like the last 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years, they haven't. It's just, you can just mark them off. They're not even gonna make a run for the playoffs. So this is in Arizona. I love that ESPN tracks ticket prices. I always love this. There's only one game that's cheaper, which is shocking, which I may pick for one of my next picks. But ticket for the Panthers Cardinals game is $37. For anybody out there right now, really, really fun, what did they call that? Life hack for going to football games is you just buy the cheapest ticket. It has to be for a game that's not sold out, but you just buy the cheapest ticket that you can just get you in through the door. You pull open the available tickets, and then you just go sit in the available ticket seats like 5 minutes before the game starts, because those aren't being sold.
Yep.
I did that at a Cardinals game, and I ended up sitting in seats that were like uh $2,200 per seat, and I was like on the 50-yard line, second row. It was awesome. I was there rooting for the Giants a year or two ago, and the Giants were down by like 23 points, and the Giants came all the way back. It was great. Sorry, Cardinals fans. Um
It's okay.
yeah,
No,
tickets as low as 30. I'll
that is
snatch
the life
those up.
hack. That is life hack. I do that a lot for soccer games and stuff because soccer games often don't sell out. So you just kind of,
Yeah.
you get a cheap ticket and then you find a nice spot to post up.
Yep. Yeah. Fun game. I think James Conner is gonna have a good week. I expect Marvin Harrison to still be looking good. The Cardinals also kind of have that tendency to collapse towards the end of the year. Knock on wood, I don't think the collapse is gonna be happening with the Panthers. I'm
Yeah.
definitely taking Cardinals. I don't know if I trust that 7-point win spread. I could see the Cardinals kind of being annoying and being more of like a 4-point win in this one.
Yeah, I don't really have a lot of faith in their offense for the Cardinals' perspective, and I only want to watch. And I don't think the Panthers even have a chance of truly winning. But even if they do, it's not going to bother me. I am watching this game for pure entertainment. This is the reason why I love football. Is like the beatdowns, the really aggressive like defensive players, defensive focused teams. I hate it when I see the ball just flying through the air, touchdown after touchdown, and just like it's just offense playing catch, doing some drills. I like when it's disgusting, when it's just brutal. When someone can make 10 yards and you're like, oh my God, they're alive still. Like they didn't get hit this time. Like that's a miracle. Like that's a good
Yeah.
game. I don't
Yeah.
care how many points are on the board. I just want to see that level of struggle on every play.
Yeah. All right. For my next pick, again, this is pick 2 of 3. We each make 3 picks. The game I want to watch is the revenge game for this week. And that is Ben Johnson, the head coach of the Chicago Bears, traveling to Ford Field in Detroit, his former team.
Stole my pick.
It's a good pick. You should have picked it over the Cardinals Panthers, dude. I'm sorry.
That was gonna be I was saving it for last.
Can't do that. The Bears Lions. I don't trust what I saw from Caleb Williams. Detroit's also a 6.5-point favorite, so same as the Cardinals over the Panthers.
No way.
The over-under is 46.5. So I don't, after watching the Bears, I just don't trust Caleb Williams. I really, really don't. I think the Vikings defense is a decent amount better than the Lions defense, but I just don't think Caleb's going to dial it in. I think the offense for the Bears is going to stall at some point, and you're going to see those frustrating overthrows or those frustrating off-target throws, even though somebody's wide open. I could see the Bears getting off to a hot start, maybe like a touchdown or two lead, and then just kind of sputtering out, which is kind of what happened with the Vikings. However, I do like the Bears defense. Maybe there's a chance where they fluster Goff. There's always that option. But I think in their homecoming game for the Lions, that crowd is going to be drunk and rowdy at 10 a.m. In comparison, ticket prices are as low as $262. I assume that one's going to be sold out because Lions fans are crazy. Jahmyr Gibbs, I think they're going to get their stars going. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to get going. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get going. I don't think the Bears are on the same level as the Packers. I don't think they're going to be able to do what the Packers were able to do against the Lions. I think the Lions are angry from that week 1 loss. I think they're listening to all the media talk about like, oh, are the Lions over? Is their window closed for the Super Bowl? Is Jared Goff what we saw with the Rams? And I think Dan Campbell's going to be pissed off and he's going to say, go eat some kneecaps. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to pick the Lions. I don't know if they're going to do the 7-point cover, but I do like the Lions to win kind of handedly.
Damn. Handedly.
Kind of.
Yeah, I want to believe in Chicago right now. I believe in you.
It's fun to believe in them. It's just I don't know if that's the truth.
I'm hurt right now after last week's Dolphins experience because I had some belief there. So now I'm a little sour this week. So Bears, do your best. Caleb Williams, try not to miss. We can talk week 3 if we're back with Caleb Williams love. All right. Well, now I'm scrambling.
We'll pause on the Caleb Williams love for now.
Okay, well, I guess. Oh no, never mind. I can't pick that one. We already talked. That's Monday. I'm scrambling because he did take my pick. So sorry, I have to think about this.
There's a few good ones. There's a lot. I mean, every game has good storylines, right?
God, I guess I'll watch the Cowboys game. No, I'm just kidding.
That was gonna be my pick. That's a good one. NFC East. It's when you look at the NFC East games, even if it's nothing and it's not important. You know what's probably going to be the most watched game this week?
Cowboys game.
Cowboys and versus New York Giants. Because, I mean, it's just rivals, two of the biggest fan bases out there. I will say this is the one game that has a lower ticket price than Cardinals Panthers.
Wow.
Why?
Yeah,
why
these
is
teams
it
are trash? Because these teams are trash. Crazy. It's a trash fire.
It is just crazy. So yeah, New York Giants are going to Dallas. Arlington Stadium is gorgeous. They call it Jarrow World.
Yeah,
Dallas is
I have been there actually.
Yeah, same with me. Nice. It's huge, massive. Yeah, so Dallas is favored by 5.5, over under 44.5. What are your thoughts on this game?
I mean, Cowboys, as much as I don't want to root for them, I think they have this one in the bag.
Yeah, they should.
Easy.
Yeah.
They typically do over the Giants. There was a small era during like the Odell Beckham days that it was like kind of dicey when the Cowboys went against the Giants, but that's kind of past from what I understand. And there's no real, besides the fact that Cowboys has a huge hole. I mean, you know what? Actually, that might be what the Giants need to just take it home because they don't have the defense they should. But I don't know. The Giants really aren't good enough to even without Micah Parsons. I don't know.
Yeah, so the Giants really struggled on offense last week. They were able to hold Jaden Daniels and the Commanders a little bit on defense until the levee broke. But this whole past week has just been press conferences with Brian Daboll, the Giants head coach, saying, "Are you starting Russell Wilson this week? Is it time to move on to the rookie?" And he's like, "Well, Russell's our starter for now." So that's been all this week. The Giants' schedule is brutal. They're missing their left tackle, who is an extremely good left tackle. So why would you put the rookie in right now to just have him get destroyed? If you look at the Giants' defense, the Giants' defensive line is the strength of their entire team. They have Brian Burns, they have Abdul Carter, they have Kayvon Thibodeau, they have Dexter Lawrence. That's great. That's arguably one of the best defensive lines in the entire league. But you look at their secondary and how are they going to stop CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens? Division games are weird. I could see Russell Wilson showing a little bit of life, getting Malik Neighbors involved, getting Tyrone Tracy involved, which again, they were not able to last week. I don't have faith that they will this week, but maybe there's a world where they do and the Cowboys collapse, which they're prone to do as well. So I don't know. It'll be a funky game, but whichever one of these teams enters week 3 at 0-2, their fan bases are going to be eating them alive. So that's going to be the fun part of it.
That's the pressure. That's the pressure right there.
If you have the star on your helmet, you have pressure no matter what's happening. If you have a perfect season, you still have more pressure than anybody else in the league.
Yeah, that's always the best part about the Cowboys fandom. So yeah, I'll enjoy watching that game. Cowboys will take it. Vegas agrees.
Absolutely.
Don't bet on Giants. That seems too risky for the parlays.
Yeah, I would not bet on the Giants. All right. There's some good games. I was thinking about taking Cleveland at Baltimore I think Baltimore's going to be pissed off. Oh my God, the line. The Ravens are favored by 11.5.
No way. That's 1,000 points.
That's one of the highest spreads you'll see. I think there were a couple of 14.5s last year, but 11.5 is disgusting.
It's like women's basketball odds, dude. That's usually how dramatic it is.
Go Aces, am I right?
Yeah, you know what? They're always like minus 1,000, and any poor team that has to go against them is like plus 10,000.
So I'm so sorry, Kevin, since you took the Giants Cowboys, I'm going to take Patriots Dolphins as my last game. I like the Patriots a lot. I like Drake May a lot. I want to see more of Travion Henderson. I want to see Kyle Williams get more involved. I want to see Will Campbell play a little bit better on the offensive line. And then on the flip side of it, there's a part of me where I just hope Tua throws like 4 interceptions and the Patriots it's like 30-0 against the Dolphins and Mike McDaniel's fired by halftime. I don't think that's going to happen. And again, that's a sadistic part of me.
Why are you just like reveling in the downfall of the Dolphins? Is it because of your wife roots for them?
No,
like, what is this?
No,
what is this?
No,
what's coming out of you right now?
I just think that would be like the collapse happens sooner. I think everybody sees it coming. I think even Mike McDaniel sees it coming. And at that point, it's like, just get it over with, right? Let's start.
We're one day closer to death. You're just going to say that every play. You're just going to be sitting there holding a beer like, yep.
Why is it a great day, Mike? Because we're one day closer to God, man. Actually, the Dolphins are favored in this game. Patriots still aren't a good team.
Yeah, but they're not favored by a lot because everybody saw last week.
1.5. Yeah. So the Patriots are still not a good team. They were a top 5 pick for a reason last year. They're still not a good team. I think they have that potential. I love Drake May a lot. I could absolutely see the Dolphins, Tua being on time, getting the ball out quick, Tyreek Hill making plays, their backfield making plays, their defense stepping up, kind of a bounce back week. It is in Miami. It's going to be hot. The Patriots are from Boston. Yeah, I could see it. Man. This is purely a vibes pick. The vibes are bad in Miami. The vibes are hopeful in New England. The vibes are bad in Miami. So I'll go with the.
Oh man, I still want to go Dolphins. What's wrong with me?
Your bias is showing.
It's
I mean, they're also favored.
But they have.
I could be wrong.
Besides the coaching situation, like they have enough weapons. They have Hill for freak's sake. Tyreek Hill was there and he played horrible last week. He played bad, and I was shooketh by witnessing that. But I was like, you know what?
Tua played bad too, though.
Yeah. Well, that's not new.
Well, I mean, he has spots where he plays like his draft pedigree said he would. He was the number 1 overall pick, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, you gave me the rundown, but again, also what you told me and what I witnessed watching that game, every time Tua got hit, someone in the crowd at the sportsbook was like, "Oh, I just hate to see it. Oh, just hate to see him get hit." It's like, bro, this is wrong. This is bad.
Retire. We don't want you to die, my man. CTE, look what happened to Antonio Brown, my man. It's not good.
Yeah, shit, yeah. But no, these are good picks. I'm excited to watch these games. I will not be at a sports book this time, but I do enjoy just watching games at home. I tend to be able to relax more, all that, pay better attention. Casinos are very like distracting, so I was like getting a lot of like what's it
Of
called?
course.
Overstimulation.
Give us your money.
Yeah, it was just like, a lot of overstimulation. So it was hard for me to be like really in depth with my analysis. So I'll be able to like meditate on them a little bit more.
It's so loud. The slot machines and the coin, sounds that they pump through everything.
And the poker tables just being like, you can win your money back. Come back to me. Come back.
Just
Come
give
back.
us some money. You got some money in Vegas.
Give us some more. Give us some more. All right, now time for the real shit. Survivor.
That's fun. Real quick, Jacksonville at Cincinnati. Joe Burrow, come on, let's have a better offensive showing. Jacksonville, will Travis Etienne still be good? He had a good game. They sent off Tank Bigsby to the Eagles in a trade. Rams at Titans. Rams are favored by 5.5. The Rams, both guards for their offensive line are injured. The only thing the Titans defense has going for them is the interior defensive line. I'm worried for Matthew Stafford again. I could see that being an ugly game. We talked to New England, Miami, San Francisco at New Orleans. Mac Jones might be starting. San Francisco is still favored by 3.5. They should win that game. They are a better team. Seattle at Pittsburgh. That'll be fun. See how Seattle's offense does against Pittsburgh's defense. I think I might pick Steelers for that one. The Broncos. Let's see how the Colts come back down to earth since they're not facing the Dolphins. Broncos should perform a little bit better than they did against the Titans. I believe in Bo Nix. Cortland Sutton looks good.
Bo Nix look good.
I think RJ Harvey showed a little bit of a flash. J.K. Dobbins is still healthy. And we talked about every other game. Cool. All right. Survivor.
You get to go first this time.
I get to go first. I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens. I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens over the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
11.5. Lamar Jackson's going to be pissed. It's in Baltimore. Are you kidding me? What are the Joe Flacco? Shit. Good. I didn't even realize I'm picking against the Browns.
Yeah.
Again.
2
weeks.
Yeah. It's going to bite you. It's going to bite you. If you keep doing that, it's going to bite you. The Browns will sneak one in.
I think the Browns will win a game this year, so I can't do it all year.
But not this game.
Ravens, and I've picked the Bengals. So yeah, Ravens are my survivor pick this week. If I had to pick one team to win and my life is on the line, I pick Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
I'm going to say, because I was so adamant earlier, that the Bills will blow it up at the Jets.
That makes me a little nervous for you.
I have confidence. I don't have a lot of football predictions. Like, I don't have predictions on most football things because I don't do the analysis deep dives as hard as you do. But I get these vibes once in a while, and they're typically right. Bills, gonna crush it hard.
Hard. All right. Are we doing our...
Yeah, I'm gonna... Music is gonna kick in. It's gonna be like, so everybody knows it's time. All right, everybody, get out your papers. So we're just gonna speed run it because we've already kind of talked about it. We're just gonna kind of solidify on the recording like what are Thor's picks, and I'm going to submit a Super Parlay, which is a $1, $2 minimum bet or maximum bet. You can't bet more than that because Super Parlays will lose, but once in a while they don't. So never bet a lot, but this is for fun. So, Commanders, Packers. I believe you chose Packers, right?
Packers.
Bills and Jets. I'm choosing Bills, but you're like, maybe not, but I think you're just gonna, if you're putting money down, you would say Bills, right? Yeah.
Bills.
Patriots, Dolphins. You're going Patriots, which I'll let you drive it here. Jaguars, Bengals.
I'm going Bengals in Cincinnati.
Browns and Ravens. You've already said Ravens. Giants and Cowboys. I said Cowboys. I believe you agree.
Cowboys. Yeah.
Rams, Titans.
Rams.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, they'll probably get that one. Bears, Lions.
Lions.
Yeah.
They're going to be angry.
They will be angry. Seahawks, Steelers.
This one's a little bit difficult. I think Steelers.
We got to bet it anyway. We can't skip.
Aaron Rodgers looks good, and we didn't really talk about this game. The Seahawks offense worried me a lot, and that Pittsburgh Steelers pass rush might make Sam Darnold see ghosts. Plus, it's in Pittsburgh, so 10 a.m. East Coast game for a Seattle West Coast team. That's always tough.
All right, Aaron Rodgers, counting on you. 49ers and Saints.
This is also a tough one because how could I ever pick Mac Jones? I just don't think the Saints are good.
No, they're not looking great. They had a couple highlights, but nothing.
This is a tough. Let's come back. Let's come back to that one.
Nope, you got to do it. Got to do it right now. That's how Super Parlay. Yeah.
49ers.
Panthers and Cardinals. It's got to be the Cardinals. Broncos and Colts.
Broncos.
Got to be the Broncos. I think they're going to do fine. Eagles and Chiefs. This is the toughie. I think it's Eagles.
I think it's Eagles.
But according to the casino, it's not easy to decide. I think it's more clear, but we'll find out. Falcons and Vikings.
Vikings.
I also think that one's going to be kind of tough, but we'll see. And then I think
it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun.
Bucs and Texans.
I'm picking the Bucs.
And again, we're going against the odds. Again, this is like my favorite pick of the night as far as our parlay goes, because we're really going against the grain with the Bucs on this one, and it's for reasons that I feel like are unique to your. I always like it when I feel like you're onto stuff that maybe is not mainstream, because it kind of explains these odds. You know what I mean? Because the way that you talk about this game and then the way that the casino odds are talking about it, it's like, okay, we're going against whatever the mainstream narrative is. I don't even know what it is, but I can just tell based on that.
I mean, it's still a coin flip game. So it's not egregious that I would pick the Bucs. Either of these teams can either.
No. I'm not saying you're a crazy person. I'm just saying it's a nice plus 120.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
It's a nice plus 120, and I think it's right. Like, I think you're going to be, again, another spot on one. But we'll see. I don't want to jinx anything, so I'll knock on some wood here. Chargers and Raiders is our last pick of the night.
Chargers.
No. Go Raiders Nation, man. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Now, that puts our total parlay at 16 games, $2. That is, we didn't go against the odds a ton this time like we did last week.
I think just one game, honestly. I'm basic.
No, technically it was 2 games. 2 games you're going against the grain. Everything else we're kind of going with it, but they make sense. So our total winnings would be $2,104.
That's a lot.
Which bets are in, folks.
And again, for the audience, this will not hit. This will not hit.
Well, listen, for the audience, based on my experience,
maybe it will.
based on my experience, when the odds when the odds are only like $2,000, your chances of winning are actually pretty decent. When the odds are like $20,000, then you're like, okay, I'm probably not even gonna get fucking close. Because that's what it was. Yeah. Well, last week it was really high. It was like 12, I think.
Yeah.
But it's because we bet it on the Dolphins, and they're like, "Oh, these idiots."
I mean, it's why I'm not picking the Dolphins this week. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't get over it. It was brutal to watch, man. I was just like,
that's what I'm saying. Imagine if they go 0-2 and their point differential is like 60.
I mean, that's what
it could happen.
They're in danger of that for real.
All right, let's get out of here. Football back on week 2. This has been Gridiron Thunder. My name's been Thor. This has been Kevin. We'll see you next week.
Peace, y'all.